All right, let's get right into it. Have you noticed that after like 50 years of not much happening, we are suddenly in an all-out race back to the moon? You've got NASA talking about sending astronauts, other countries are launching their own stuff. So the big question is, why? Why now? What is the real reason we're suddenly rushing back?
Well, the story we always hear is the inspirational one, right? That it's just who we are as people, that drive to explore, to see what's out there. It's a really beautiful, romantic idea. But let's be real for a second. Is the spirit of exploration really what gets Congress to sign off on a multi-billion-dollar budget? The source material for this explainer suggests a much more practical, maybe even a cynical answer. The real reason is something else entirely.
So, to understand why we're going back now, we first have to peel back the layers on why we went in the first place. And the truth is, the legendary Apollo program, well, it was never just about science.
I mean, just think about the sheer scale of it. The United States went to the moon 9 times during the Apollo missions. 9. This wasn't just some one-off field trip. It was a massive, sustained national project. And it had a very, very specific goal.
So what was that goal? The source for this explainer puts it pretty bluntly. It wasn't about geology. It wasn't about astronomy. It was about power. It was, and I'm quoting here, muscle flexing on the geopolitical sphere during a Cold War.
And that, of course, brings us to the first great space race. The opponent that had Congress scrambling to write those enormous checks? The Soviet Union.
And you can just feel the panic when you look at this timeline. 1957, the Soviets launched the first animal into space. By 59, they hit the moon with a probe. And then the big one, April 1961, Yuri Gagarin becomes the first human in space. The US was getting absolutely smoked. So it's no surprise that just 1 month later, a rattled President Kennedy went before Congress with a plan that sounded almost impossible.
And Kennedy's famous speech, it wasn't just about doing hard things. He framed the entire moonshot as an ideological battle. It was a direct challenge, a way to prove to the entire world that the American path of freedom was better than the Soviet path of tyranny. It was democracy versus the, quote, godless enemy.
So here's the most telling part. We did it. We landed on the moon, we planted the flag, we beat the Russians, mission accomplished. And then what happened? We stopped going for more than half a century. If the goal was really about exploration, we would have built a base, right? But the goal was geopolitical. And once we won the race, the motivation and the funding just dried up.
Which brings us all the way to today. 50 years of basically radio silence on the moon front, and now, all of a sudden, we're racing back. So what changed? Well, it turns out history is rhyming. We have a new rival. And the catalyst was crystal clear. In the 2010s, China got serious and announced its own ambitious plan to put taikonauts, that's their astronauts, on the moon. And what a coincidence, the second another global power set its sights on the moon, the US decided it was time to go back too.
This table really says it all, doesn't it? The era changes, the rival changes, but you look at that bottom line, the motivation, it's exactly the same. Geopolitical dominance. It's the same playbook, just a different opponent.
So this new mission is called the Artemis program, and you got to appreciate the branding. In Greek mythology, Artemis is the twin sister of Apollo, a new name for a new generation and a new race to the moon. But this time, things are a little different. It's not just about planting a flag and getting home first. This new race has a much more tangible prize. There's something valuable on the moon, something that could unlock the entire future of space exploration. And the new finish line isn't just anywhere on the moon. Everyone, the US, China, Russia, India, you name it, they're all aiming for one very specific spot, the lunar South Pole. So, why there? Because of these amazing geological quirks called cold traps. These are craters so deep that their floors haven't seen a single ray of sunlight in literally billions of years. They are some of the coldest places in the entire solar system. And locked inside those cosmic deep freezers is the ultimate prize, water ice. This is an absolute game changer. Sure, you can purify it to drink or to make breathable air. But the real gold is that you can split that water into hydrogen and oxygen, which are the main ingredients for rocket fuel. You could literally refuel spaceships on the moon. It's like building a gas station on the highway to Mars. And this race for resources is already drawing new lines in the
Well, in the moon dust. You've got the Artemis Accords, which is basically Team USA and its allies. And then you have a rival agreement being put together by China and Russia. It's two sides, one prize. It's like an old-fashioned land grab just 250,000 miles away.
Okay, but here's the final fascinating twist in all this. While this rivalry is creating new divisions around the globe, it's actually creating a really strange kind of unity right here at home.
Just think about how divided things are politically right now. The Artemis program was started under the Trump administration, but when the Biden administration took over, they didn't kill it, they embraced it. How does a massive, expensive government program like this actually survive a total change in power?
The answer is just brilliant practical politics. NASA has its 10 biggest centers spread all across the country in 8 different states. And those states are a perfect mix of red and blue. It creates jobs and pumps money into local economies everywhere. NASA has woven itself so deep into the fabric of the country that it's become politically untouchable.
Which leaves us with one last, kind of provocative question. We love to tell ourselves that it's these grand ideals and the spirit of discovery that unite us. But what if the greatest unifier we have, the one thing that can actually get both political sides to agree, is just a common rival and a really, really big government contract? It's not the most romantic thought, but